V for Vendetta is a film directed by James McTague, in which V for Vendetta was his debut film as a director. The movie was screenplayed by James McTague alongside the Wachowski sisters, Lana and Lily, who are best known as the minds behind the hit movie The Matrix. Simply put, V for Vendetta is a highly political film that defends left-winged ideology through the portrayal of a fascist government, in which the movie contrasts the left-winged viewpoint of freedom and the right-winged viewpoint of control. V, who is both known as a freedom fighter and a terrorist, creates a plot to overthrow the government in order for others to be free from the government's control, being against the idea of security if it means our lives aren't our own, but instead controlled and taken advantage of by those of a higher power. Propaganda, by dictionary definition, is information, ideas, or rumors deliberately spread widely to help or harm a person, group movement, institution, nation, and etc. Throughout the movie, propaganda is provided from both a right-winged and left-winged standpoint. Such propaganda is usually provided in the security of our own homes due to a household item known as a television. A prime example of televisions being used to provide propaganda is through the news, with the information provided often being biased. This is one of the many ways media can be used as a tool for propaganda and control. Although there are many who attempt to halt these actions, his personal skills, along with his influence on society, allow him to triumph over the government in their feeble attempts to stop V. During a scene in which V breaks into a news broadcaster in order to speak out about his own ideology to the entirety of the United Kingdom, the scene cuts to the point of view of multiple citizens in Britain as they watch TV. Similar to how High Chancellor Adam Sutler is shown as high and mighty on the big screen throughout most of his scenes, V is seen through the same low angle shot on his own screen. Instead of a secluded room, the huge screen V is shown on is in the midst of London, specifically Piccadilly Circus. Not only is he shown in a similar fashion to the High Chancellor, the movie continuously cuts to other unspecified locations. To list them all, a retirement home, the living quarters of two separate families, a local bar, and many areas within the news broadcasting station itself. Both the news broadcasting station and the bar has the TVs positioned higher up in the same low angle shot stated before, with the broadcasting station having TVs stationed everywhere, as if V is everywhere. When it comes to specific shots shown in these locations, the movie puts more detail onto the citizens, allowing the audience to determine the thought process of said citizens based on facial expression, and the slight input of dialogue within the scene. The scene cuts between locations, with the scene starting off with full shots and medium shots. As the scene goes on, each shot is cut into medium shots to close-ups, with most scenes that show off these locations having a panning shot as a way of expressing how many individuals are in the room. Seeing something new on the screen compared to the usual news broadcast, especially something that opposes the usual norm, would definitely catch the attention of many, whether it be through intrigue, confusion, or fear. Diverging off the pattern usually causes such reaction. But when we're used to a pattern, then something new, something different, can become odd to see. It shouldn't be surprising that the government is portrayed as having control over a large portion of media, for it's quite a realistic and truthful portrayal. A good example of such control, as stated before, would include what's broadcasted on the news. There are many scenes in the movie which include the news, with the information told being obviously false due to the scenes prior. In one of the scenes in which Lewis Prothero, also known as the voice of London, is murdered off screen by V, there is an instant sense of fear from Prothero as he falls to the ground, slipping due to how soaked he is from the shower. As Prothero and V converse, V is viewed from a low shot varying from a medium to full bloody range, whilst Prothero is the opposite, being seen from a high angled shot, usually over V's shoulder. After Prothero's death, the scene then cuts to a supporting character, Eric Finch, waking up to a phone call related to Prothero's death, before cutting once more to the bathroom moments later, where Eric Finch and Roger Dascombe are discussing the death. Dascombe tries to figure out a way to cover up the death, in which apparent heart failure is decided as a cover-up, being shown on the news the next day, when Evie figures out V killed Prothero due to the news reporter blinking a lot when she lies. This cover-up of apparent heart failure is used as a way for the government to keep control over society, as if people knew that V killed Prothero, there's a good chance society would freak out and rebel. If the voice of London can be killed so easily in the safety of his own home, then who could be next? No one can fear what they don't know exists. although the government loses its control more and more because of V's actions, especially due to his own news broadcast before the death of Rothera. Although the government is shown as corrupt, with Evie being harassed at the start of the movie by the government's secret police due to being out late, would a controlled society still be acceptable if corruption wasn't there? To summarize all previous points, the government has control over society through their secret police and control over the media, being able to hide the truth in order to create a stable society that won't rebel. Though V's influence on society through his actions and propaganda allow others to know the truth, allowing rebellion, which, by the end of the movie, allows V to blow up Parliament with the help of Evie and the rest of his followers. Thank you for watching.